Hey guys, so today we are going to be looking at 5 types of energy. Okay, so let's go back to when we talked about matter versus energy. Okay, and we know that matter is anything that takes up space and has mass, while energy is the ability to do work. So when I ask the question, are matter and energy two different things, you should automatically say yes, absolutely. Two completely different things. Okay? So I know we have taken energy notes before. However, we're going into our energy unit. So we're going to start off by taking some more notes. You've got crayons on your desk if you want to add color. However, use this time wisely. You are not playing around. You are simply taking notes so we can move on to our class demonstrations, okay? All right. So up here I have just a few different types of examples, and by the end of this video, you will be able to label one of the 5 energies that it represents, okay? So let's start out with the definition of energy, because obviously we need to know what that is, right? So energy, if we think back, is simply what? And you should be able to answer this right in your head. It is the ability to do work. That means that anything that we do, any kind of work that we do, you have to have energy in order for it to work. Okay? So let's start with our notes. And let's see, I'm going to start on this page right here just to make everything simple, and you'll see at the end why I'm doing this, okay? So the first type that I want to talk about is mechanical. So I've got an M, mechanical, okay? And we have taught about it in class, but let's take it back and let's figure out what mechanical energy is, okay? So the definition of mechanical energy is movement created by a machine or moving parts. Okay, and if we think back to this, you guys are going to be like, oh, okay, I remember what that is. In class, we had 2 different kinds of mechanical energy. Okay, and so we're going to break it up. The first one was potential energy. I hope that's ringing a bell. And the second one is kinetic energy. Remember, like Xbox Connect. All right, potential energy is simply stored energy. Kinetic energy, remember, is energy on the move. Okay, so I hope that rings a bell. Remember in class we did stored energy, maybe throwing a football, right? Before I throw the football, I have all of this potential stored up energy, and as soon as I release the football, it moves into this kinetic energy in motion. All right. Number 2, we're going to draw a line between these guys. Number 2, we have, starts with an E, so maybe take a guess. Electrical. Okay, now when I think about electrical, I automatically think about electricity. Okay, so this is energy caused by the flow of electrons and it travels in circuits. Okay? So electricity, what do we think about? I know what I think about. The very first thing I think about is I think about a wall socket, right? In order to charge my phone or my lovely iPad that you guys just could not live without, I've got my wall socket, right? And with this, I'm able to plug in my cord, and what happens? I end up charging my iPad, okay? So think about electricity. There's many different types of examples. You guys are going to be exploring that in just a few minutes. Okay, and I am going to write a few just right here. Shocks. So we're going to look at that static electricity, when you can shock somebody. Lightning, electrical energy, and obviously electricity, which is how we charge things. Okay? All right, next we have got light energy. So just look around the room. Where do we see our light energy coming from right now? And just don't say it out loud, obviously, because you're listening to this by yourself. But from the light bulbs, right? So light travels in waves. Oops, travels in waves, and this is the most important part. It has to travel through a vacuum. And that is just a fancy word for empty space. Okay? So it has to travel through a vacuum. And so I can think about my light bulbs, or I can think about maybe when Hurricane Matthew hit, and I was trying to find all of these guys that I could in case I ran out of electricity because I'm scared of the dark. Right? And what do we think this is? A flashlight. Okay? But what's in a flashlight? I've got a battery in here, right? Remember I put batteries in my flashlight? And then this electrical energy, is transformed into this light energy. See how that works? All right. So the next one of my favorites is starts with a T, thermal. Okay, so we've got thermal energy. Now, what is thermal energy? Remember at the beginning of the year, I said, I say thermal, you say blank. Heat. Okay? So, it is simply heat. Plain and simple. Okay? And it is created by molecules moving quickly. Okay? So, just think about how when I speed the reaction of something up, when I heat something up, my molecules start to do what? They start to move much faster. So that just means, in these terms right here, I have way more thermal energy, okay? And so when I think about heat, there's a few different kinds, but just a simple example is maybe I've got some logs, right? And maybe I've got a marshmallow roast going on, right? And all of that heat that I feel is just thermal energy, okay? And believe me, you guys are going to be looking up tons of examples. So that's just not the only one, but there are lots of examples, okay? Something else that we could put for examples, we've got an oven. Let's see, a toaster. What about a heater? Yes, I love thermal energy in the winter because it's cold. Woo! Microwave. Obviously, we don't want to eat cold pizza. I don't like cold pizza anyway. Some of you guys may. And that's okay. We can still be friends. All right. The last one. So I go, and my last one down here starts with an S. Oops. Let me use a different color. I'm going to do purple. Starts with an S. And it is how you guys are listening to me right now. What is that? Sound. Yes, sound. Okay. So I've got sound. And yes, sound is a type of energy. Okay. Now, kind of like light, sound travels not the same way, but it travels in a funny way. Okay. And so sound is simply vibrations. Our brains just know what a specific vibration means, okay? So these guys travel in waves, and we're going to learn about those in our next unit. They travel in waves, but this is one of the most important parts. They travel through a medium, okay? Now, what is a medium? Anybody? All right, so I know you guys know. And if you don't, that's okay. We're going to talk about it. All right, so a medium is just a solid, liquid, or gas, okay? And so it's just matter. So a medium is matter, okay? So sound has to have a medium travel through. It cannot be like light and travel through a vacuum, empty space, or those sound waves would not be able to travel, okay? So it travels through a medium. And then I can just go out here and I can think about those lovely little music notes, okay? Cool? All right, so on your tests, and as we start looking into energy, look at this, okay? We've created this nice little notes sheet, 5 types of energy. Now, look at what this spells. And, I tell you guys all the time, write this out 5 times a day, and you're not memorizing it, but you'll learn it. Okay, there's a complete difference. I want you to learn it. I don't want you to memorize it. All right. If you write this out, it's going to be super, super easy, and it's going to come to you, and you're going to know it. Okay. Look what this spells. I've got M, mechanical, E, electrical, L, light, T, thermal, S, sound. I'm not the best speller in the world, but I do know that spells what? It spells melts, okay? So when I'm practicing this, the first thing I start out with is drawing my lines and writing the word melts, okay? Write my M, my E, my L, my T, my S, and then beneath them, go ahead and write out what each of them stands for, okay? And that'll get you started on the right path to energy. Cool? All right, so when you're finished, you'll have directions on what to do. Please use this time wisely, okay? All right, guys.